All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the very first episode of the Teacher Boss Show. And I'm excited. We just got done with coaching, and I'm popping on here now to talk to you about starting your own online teaching business and some of the things that I've learned along the way, what I would do differently personally if I were to starting all over. So, when I first started, I started with companies. I would not change that, to be honest. Companies pay a lot less money, but they're also um very um educational. It's a good educational for it's a good education for you. It's a good time to learn something new. It's a good time to learn how to manage your students, how to teach online, how to work with follow-ups, kind of see how some of the other companies do it. Sorry, my dog's kind of half barking over there. So working with a company is not a bad way to do it, but if you're serious about it, then it is good to consider working for yourself rather than working with a company. The companies pay less because they're taking a cut out of your money. They're charging the students, say, $30 for the class, and they're paying you maybe $7 for the class. So they're getting a huge chunk of the income that you could potentially be making for yourself. So I would highly suggest to go independent, to start your own online teaching business, get your own students in there if this is something that you're serious about. Now, when I started, I was working for companies. I actually started in 2018. So I started in 2018, I think. And I remember I went into it thinking that there's no way people were actually making money off of this, but let's try it out because I needed something that would allow me to work from home and be with my kids, have a little bit more flexibility. And I would see other teachers as I started doing this. Well, first I went in there and I said, I see teachers being successful working for this company. Maybe there are other companies that are out there like this. And then I found other companies that were like it. And I said, okay, well, I see people being successful. So I know that it's a possibility. I know that I can be successful doing this. What do I need to do to get to the top? What is it that they're doing? What can I learn? And I didn't go in there and just click on the login button. I didn't just like sign up and hope to get classes. I learned the system. So when I work for a school, I work for a company, I learned the system. I figured out their algorithms of how parents are finding classes. In some cases, I even enrolled my student in a class to see what dog's up here with me now. I even enrolled my child in a class. Like I did that with Lingo Ace to see what their onboarding process looked like and what the parents were going through, to kind of give an idea of what I needed to do as a teacher. And then this later on helped me um, in my own independent online teaching business. Hi, Tracy, in between classes. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're able to pop in. So that's something, like, get in there if you're working for a company, learn what they're doing, learn how they're doing it, learn what you like. If you can go on, like I did it with Outschool, I did it with All School, I did it with Lingo Ace. Learn what you like as a parent. If that's a possibility for you, what do you like as a parent? What don't you like as a parent? Because if you can look at it from the customer's perspective right from the get-go, then you already know, like, okay, well, I don't like this. I hate this part of it. So let's find a way to solve that part so that my clients don't have to deal with it. You want to make sure that the checkout process is easy and everything too. So we I went through these companies, and as I got into it, I was at the top of the companies, um, because I made myself get there. Like, I was like, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be one of the best teachers. I'm gonna make a lot of money on this." I bought a house. Like, I bought my house by doing this. It was really cool. Um, but then I'm like, "Okay, I see people out there saying that they have their own students." And to me, at that time, it was very foreign. Like, how on earth are they getting their own students? Like, especially in China, like, how is that happening? And I never acted on it. I just kinda looked at them as if they were, like, these elite beings that, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I kinda just looked at them like, "Wow, you're amazing. I could never do that. That's so cool." Um, I don't even know how you're doing it. But then I learned that you can get your own students, and it's really not that difficult. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing in the world, okay? There are some learning processes that you have to go through it, but it's not that difficult to get your own students, especially once you come up with a system. And if you have this system, create a system or use somebody else's system. Create a system that resonating. Oh, you're resonating with the like, wow, you're amazing. You're so cool. Like you're the cool kids. I can't sit with you. Yeah. But create a system that you can use time and time again. So what I do is I actually have, and I have since switched it to Notion, but I actually have a Google or yeah, Google spreadsheet that I use. And in this Google spreadsheet, I put down everything about every single person I ever talk to. So if I'm talking to somebody on WeChat or if I'm talking to somebody on Xiaohongshu or Facebook or something, and they want to join my class, I know I have to set up a trial with them. But I'm talking to so many people, like especially I post something on Xiaohongshu and or something and like on WeChat or something. I have a WeChat group going. I'm getting like 10, 20 messages at a time, and I'm waking up to like 3,000 notifications the next morning because of the time difference, right? So there's no way. I realized that there had to be a better way and I had to create a system. So what I do, and this, you guys, you need to do this if you don't have a follow-up or a lead system already, that is one of the very first things I would suggest to do right now. You're going to create a lead system. In this lead system, you are going to need to have in there their name, the student's name, their age, um, what they want, like why they want to start lessons. Figure this all out. Have a conversation with them. Why do they want to start lessons? What are they wanting to work on? Um, and uh, then have in there like a little check mark or something, a date that you can put in when you gave them their trial. So what I do on my lead system is I will put in there every person that says, how much do you charge or do you teach English or anything? I'll put their name in there. I'll put their WeChat ID in there. If they're on Xiaohongshu, I'll try to connect their WeChat and their Xiaohongshu so I know I'm not, if someone messages me, I know who I'm talking to. And then I will color code it. Um, if they buy something, I will color code it to green, that line on the spreadsheet. If they say, "No, I'm not interested," or you basically like DNS them, like do not sell, like I'm not interested in working with the student ever, make it a red line. That way you're never following up with them. You're going to go to the people that either had trials or didn't take a trial yet or anything. When you need students, you have this entire spreadsheet that you can go through from all the people that you ever talked to. So if you're sitting here and you're like, "Okay, it's Chinese New Year right now, and I have a whole bunch of cancellations." You have an entire spreadsheet of people that have expressed interest in and have told you that they want to take lessons with you. Go through and talk to them, message them. Hey, this is Jillian. This is the teacher. I know that you had talked about taking lessons for Johnny or giving Johnny some English lessons before. Um, I have some extra times open right now because of Chinese New Year. Um, would you like to schedule a lesson? Or I know you talked before about doing a trial lesson or an assessment, and we're really busy and we didn't get around to it. Would you like to do that this week? Let's get you on the calendar. Boom, you can sell more classes if you have a follow-up system. And this is actually something that I teach in Enroll and Grow, exactly how to do this. I even give you my spreadsheet. So for those of you who are not familiar, I have a program called Teacher Boss Society. Oh, it's on my name down here. See? I have a program called Teacher Boss Society. And in this, I show you how to build everything in your business, from your web page to your first students, or going backwards, your first students to your web page, your branding, your professional pictures, blogging, social media content, all of that, right? And what I will do here is um, in the Enroll and Grow system, I give you this exact system, exactly what to say, exactly how to reach out to them, exactly how to get students on that list there, um, and how to follow up with them. And I actually had somebody came into Enroll and Grow last year, and um, she got fully booked in a week just by going through she went through all of her old WeChat contacts that she had talked to, like scrolling through her conversations, updated her spreadsheet, started going through the spreadsheet. Boom, 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 boom. And just by doing that, she was able to get fully booked in like a week. So that goes to show you how important a lead system is. That is something that I did not implement until much later in my business when I got really busy. And I did it because I was really busy and I'm like, I can't keep up with this. And then people would reach out to me and they'd be like, oh, we took a trial last year. And I'm like, I don't know who you are, because like I deleted WeChat from my phone to save memory and then reinstalled it. And then all my messages were gone, or it was too long ago. My messages were gone. So it's really like, don't rely on your messaging system in WeChat. Make sure that you have a way to keep track of it. All right. Um, Hi, Brenda. Hi. I think this is Gerald. Mateus Gerald. Or maybe this is Mateus. Okay. So that's the very first thing that I would do. The next thing that I would do is make sure you have a good onboarding system. So we've got our follow-up system. Now we need our onboarding system. What do you do when a student comes into your class? All right. And it's the very first class. What are you doing to bring this student into your lessons? So when I first started teaching independently, um, a lot of times I would use the parents would be like, oh, we want to use this book. We want to use this curriculum. And for a good portion of my first classes, that's what I tried to do. I tried to appease them. Okay, we can use this workbook. And then I realized that doesn't work. They needed to start trusting me to find what was going to work for their student, because, oh my goodness, the content they gave me was garbage. The things that parents thought were going to be good for their student to learn from was just absolute trash. So I needed to have a good system in place, what I was going to be teaching my students and how I was going to be teaching it. So the first thing that I did there was I found curriculum. So we actually have Brenda Brooks has Young Learners Curriculum. Megan has Florentis Learning. Those are some different ones. You've also got Abridge Academy is another one. And what's good about these is that they all have some sort of onboarding system. I always do the first thing, the assessment, the trial lesson, the assessment is done during the first free class. And that way I can come up and have a system in place for when excuse me, I am still sick from yesterday, but that way you'll have a system in place where it's like, okay, I know your level, I know what I'm going to do with you afterwards, and then make sure you communicate with that with them. You're not begging for classes, you're not begging for them to enroll, you're going to assume that they're going to. So after they take the assessment, I never call it a trial. That cheapens you. Everybody's doing trials. You're doing an assessment. You're a professional. Okay. So after I do the assessment with them, then I will go through and I will create a Canva image. I'll download it as an image and I'll send it to them on WeChat or email or wherever I'm sending them their stuff. And it will say, this is what your student did well with. These are the these are the 3 things that they did well with. These are the 3 things that they need help with. And then a paragraph where I'll say, thank you so much for having Johnny in class today. He did wonderful. We worked with X, Y, and Z, and he's really good with X, Y, and Z, but we need to improve ABC. In our future lessons, we are future speaking. This is happening. Okay. They're allowed to say no, but you're going to say, not if you want to book a class with me. In our future lessons, we will be working on A, B, and C. Okay, we will be working on improving his confidence, improving his pronunciation, and speaking more in English. And then you will send them that image and also follow up with them and say, um, I can't wait to work with him. We're gonna fix this problem that he's got, right? Like, we're going to work with him and get him better at whatever it is that you really notice that he needs to get better at. And then you're going to offer the sale. Okay. I would recommend, you might recommend 2 or 3 lessons a week, and they might say, "Well, I can't afford that." Well, that's okay. You move it down. I would start by recommending like the 2 or 3 lessons a week, and then if they say we only want to do 1 a week, then you can do that. Um, I would also start doing subscriptions right off the bat because it's so much easier to keep track of your billing and to not have to keep track of everything. As far as who owes you money and how many lessons they've got left and all that. So subscription billing is really a good thing to have. And have a terms and conditions. So when I first started, I did not have terms and conditions. I just kind of started winging it. And I'm sure a lot of you can, resonate with that too, right? You could relate to that, just winging it because you don't know what you're doing. Create a terms and conditions that you send to your parents and let them know, this is my cancellation policy. This is my policy for if you show up late. This is my policy for payment. This is my policy for reschedules. This is the way you're expected to behave in class. You want to make sure that you have a terms and conditions that's going to protect you. Does anybody have any questions so far? I know I'm like throwing a lot at you here. But yeah, I would go into it if I were to start over in 2026. I would go into it acting like a business and doing the things that are more business like. I would definitely go on Xiaohongshu because that is a very valuable resource where you can get bookings very quickly. And I would make sure I had my systems in place. All right. So I'm kind of adjusting myself here. I think that that's pretty much what I wanted to say here. What I would do differently. Next week we are going to be talking about, hold on a second, let me go into it really quick. So we're doing one of these lives every week at 11 o'clock. And next week, we're actually going to talk about the fastest way to make money as an online teacher. We're going to be talking about different income streams and different things that you can do. I want to leave a disclaimer here that I am not promising a get rich quick thing. If you're watching my lives, I want you here because you're willing to put the work in and you are willing to do what it takes to make yourself a successful online teacher with a successful business. So that's really important to walk away with. Like, you're not going to come in and watch a video of mine or take a training of mine and walk away a millionaire. It is going to take work. It is easy in terms of businesses that you could run. It's a pretty easy business with a pretty low overhead. But it is difficult in terms of if you've never done this before, it's going to be a learning curve. And I think you need to give yourself some what's the word I want to use? Give yourself some leeway. Give yourself here knowing that it's going to be a little bit more difficult than you're used to. Okay. You're going to have to learn different things. You're going to have to learn time management. You're going to have, that's still something that I'm working with, to be honest, as I've added income streams into my life. Like I have recently added, I have added party goats. So I take my goats to birthday parties. I've added soap making and cheese making and fudge making. I've added making money off of Facebook. I've added an additional YouTube channel. I've added lots of different income streams into my life as I'm kind of like figuring out what works and what doesn't work. I'm a big fan of Facebook monetization, though. Let me tell you, big fan. It's pretty easy money for what that comes to, and if that's something you wanna hear about too, I could talk about that too in the future. Um, but it's not, I mean, it's not reliable income, like, it's not like, you know, I know for a fact I'm going to make X amount of money off of, you know, so many classes, but it is, a good extra income that pays a couple of bills every month. Um, but as I've been adding income streams, it has become increasingly difficult if I do not have a routine. So difficult to stay on track if I don't have a routine. So one thing that I have taught for many years, and sometimes I just have to remind myself, um, you're going to set your work hours and you're going to work those hours, whether or not you have a student sitting in front of you. You need to work those hours. So if my work hours are 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and I'm working for a company, but I'm trying to go independent too, or I'm working for myself and I don't have students during that time, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., my butt is parked in that seat and I am doing something that's going to move my business forward. I've already dedicated those hours of my life in. So it doesn't make any sense to get into the habit of, oh, there's no class, I'm going to take a 30-minute nap right now. Um, I've done that before. Okay. I'm sure you guys have too. I'm saying these things because I know it works better if you dedicate those hours to your work and you do hours, or you do work during those hours. Whether it be creating a Canva image for something, or writing out a newsletter, building your website, um, advertising yourself on social media, do something during your dedicated work hours. Okay. And you don't have to work every day. I know it's really easy to get sucked into it to where you're overworking yourself. Alrighty. I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys all next week. Please make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, um, go over to, you know what? If you're watching this on Facebook, hold on really quick. I don't know who's watching on what, but oh, I only have like 70 million tabs open. Hold on a second. If you are watching this on Facebook, I want to make sure that you are able to find me on YouTube, because Facebook deletes things after 30 days. So this is my YouTube channel. Go follow me over on YouTube. That way you will have access to all the videos that we do. And I will see you guys. Oh, and one more thing, actually. I'm going to put 2 links in here. All right. So all of these, the first link here, all of these lives will be on our school calendar in our free school group. This is our free school group link. It's kind of like the Facebook community. It's just for school. Now there is another one called Teacher Boss Society. This is where the coaching is. This is where the trainings are. This is where all the cool stuff happens that helps you grow your business. That one is a paid school group. It is totally worth it though, because everything that I taught you how to do today, I teach you in more depth. I give you all of the plans on how to make it happen. So that one is a very good group too. So hopefully I'll see you guys in there. I'll see you on my YouTube channel, and I'll see you